George Washington was chosen to be the commander-in-chief on June 19, 1775. George Washington was chosen by the Congress because of his very good past military experience in the hope that he could unite the colonies. After George Washington was chosen to be commander-in-chief in 1775, he didn't receive any pay during the war because he requested that he not be paid as commander-in-chief, but that his expenses be paid at the end of the war. The Declaration of Independence was composed in 1776. Although Congress approved the final text of the Declaration on July 4, 1776, it wasn't signed until August 2, 1776. The goal and purpose of the Declaration of Independence was to state that the colonies were independent from the Great Britain and that they wanted to cut off all ties from them. John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston were asked to help draft the Declaration of Independence. The first draft was really the final one after just a few small tweaks here and there, but overall the Congress was happy with the first draft. The Declaration of Independence helped other countries because it set up a new government nobody had ever seen. The Treaty of Alliance with France was signed in 1778. The French wanted to form an alliance with the Americans because the Frenchmen had previously lost land to the Great Britain during the 7-Year War. Benjamin Franklin and a few others were sent to France by the Congress because Benjamin Franklin was from France. The treaty was officially signed on February 6, 1778. The Federalist Papers were written and published between 1778 and 1788. The writers of the papers were Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay. The Americans didn't know the real authors of this 85 essay series, but in newspapers they knew the pen name Publius. Publius means, in its Latin translation, praenomen, personal name. A Federalist is someone who supports and believes in that the government should have several states form unity but remain independent in internal affairs. This is what the three writers of the Federalist Papers wrote in their 85 essays of the Federalist Papers in the New York newspapers. The Treaty of Paris was composed and signed in 1783, the exact date of the signing being September 3, 1783, in Annapolis, Maryland. 3 Americans that were involved with the signing of the treaty were Benjamin Franklin, John Jay, and John Adams. The person who represented the British at the signing was Richard Oswald. The primary goal of the treaty was to end the Revolutionary War, and the most important article of the treaty to the Americans was the Preliminary Articles of Peace. The Constitution of the United States was composed and ratified in 1787, the exact date being September 17, 1787. Ratify means to sign or give formal consent to. The federal government had more power in the Constitution of the United States to prevent total rule. The problem with this was that some colonies didn't agree, and this would prevent unity of the country.